Warning: Alan and JJ Johnson are not professional comedians. During this program, you will be exposed to unfiltered dad jokes in their most potent and raw form, dads telling them to each other. Watching this video may lead to serious physical harm, including facepalm concussions, head-shaking whiplash, and uncontrollable groaning. Proceed at your own risk.
Hey everybody, I'm Alan.
And I'm JJ.
And this is Two Dads and a Joke, where we get a 6-pack of dad jokes and just a shot of parenting advice. And JJ and I are working through the Proverbs. So we're bringing up some ancient wisdom from the Bible to talk about today. But, you know, we're also quite progressive in things we think about. Like, we think about space a lot. If you can't tell, I've got my NASA shirt on.
You got the NASA shirt, man.
But did you know that NASA has launched several cows in orbit?
Oh, really? I wasn't aware of that.
It was the herd shot around the world.
All right, I'll give you that one, man. I'll give you that one. So, hey, Alan, you know, I've been sick over the past couple of weeks. I was sick a couple of weeks ago. I mean, I was messaging you. I thought I was dying. I was in the yeah. So
there was snot involved.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of snot involved. And I ended up having the flu. And so I'm sitting there on the doctor's table, and you know how it is. They take you to this little room. They put you on this table with like this origami, type of, paper. And,
yeah.
I don't know if they think you're going to make a sandwich back there or what, but I'm sitting there waiting for like half an hour. I could be dying in there, and I'm in there for half an hour. Right. And so I messaged my friend Jason, who's a PA. You know Jason. Jason's a good guy.
Yeah, I know Jason. Yeah.
And, they had these little tongue dispensers, that you go, and stuff like that. And I started asking him, I was like, Jason, would I get in trouble if I licked all these and put them right back in real quick? And he goes, that would not make the doctor happy. And you know what? I finally realized what makes the doctor mad.
What makes the doctor mad?
When he runs out of patience.
That's a good setup. I didn't see that one coming.
There you go.
Caught me off guard. And that's, folks, that's what we do here. Jason and I have a lot of fun here in JJ's stories as we go along. And so, now the other thing to note that we have in common with Jason and JJ and I, we are all authors. We write books. I'm the author of the Towers of Light series, Light of Mine, out there in print. And JJ, he's the author of
Iggy and Oz, the Plastic Dinosaur.
There we go.
I actually have a copy this time. I actually have my own copy.
Your own copy. That's
I got
good.
some new copies in, man.
And you can find out about our books and what we're doing. We're both working on some new projects. We've got stuff coming out soon. But if you go out to @2dadsandAjoke on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that, or twodadsandAjoke.com, you can find out more. But, thinking of the NASA theme, what's been great about our social media is I get to find all kinds of stuff out there that are dad jokes. Like, they come to me, people send them to me. So I got a good one that came to me. This one I found from James Pitts Marsh on Instagram. So, space theme. Why aren't astronauts allowed to bring chewing gum into outer space?
I didn't know they weren't, but why?
NASA doesn't want them to get stuck up there.
That's a good one. We gotta give him credit, man. Give him credit.
Yeah, thanks, James Pitts Marsh. We appreciate that. That was a good one.
That is a good one.
JJ.
Oh, well, sticking with being sick. Hey, you know where boats go when they get sick?
Where do boats go when they get sick?
To the dock.
Well, I think my next one is worse than that. I think I can go lower.
Okay.
Where does a king keep his armies?
No idea.
Up his sleeveys.
What?
I don't know. Sometimes it's sad what comes out of my mind.
We should probably move on.
Yeah, we should move on to something better than that, because that was horrible. So I think what we're going to do to elevate the mental status is we're going to actually talk about wisdom. We're talking about wisdom from the Bible, and so I'm going to read Proverbs 2:6-8 here, because this is kind of be the focal point of today to our show. For the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He stores up sound wisdom for the upright. He is a shield to those who walk in integrity, guarding the paths of justice and watching over the way of his saints. And so I pulled this out, and what I really hooked me was, in the previous shows we talked a little bit about wisdom and how kids should be listening to their parents for wisdom. And I really like how he takes it and says, wisdom is a shield and it guards our paths. And so when you think about wisdom and, kind of following God's ways, what comes to mind as to how it shielded you from problems?
Yeah, absolutely. And, one of the things I like about this verse is verse 7 in the New Living Translation. It says, he grants a treasure of common sense to the honest. And I love the way that puts that, because when you think about this verse, we live in a world where everything is like at our instant fingertips. We have microwave ovens, we have 500 channels, we have so many things that can distract us, and we can lack a lot of common sense. We can spend our entire lives on a cell phone from start to finish and manage our entire life from start to finish. But sometimes what we do is investing in godly wisdom. It's not just a hobby. It's not just a once a week thing. It's a daily lifestyle. And so many times I think what happens is that we get caught up in getting distracted over here, and we start to lack just the common sense to make basic decisions because we're not seeking out wisdom in order to guard ourselves. And one of the things that this brings me back to is that if we do our part, we know God's always going to do his part. God's going to protect us. God's going to give us the wisdom to make right decisions. But I think all this ties back to Psalms 119, where it says, your word I've hidden in my heart so that I may not get sin against you. And I love how this, the Bible sort of interconnects in so many different ways. And I think sometimes if we just slow down and just take time to invest in diving in and finding, God's wisdom is, we would just be benefiting in many ways. One of my favorite quotes comes from Charles Swindoll. He says, some of God's priceless treasures are hidden in the depths that most folks never take the time to search out. And I think that is so true. And I think that's one of the reasons sometimes we lack just the common sense that God can give us, is because we just don't take the time to just dive in there and find the things that can help guard us. And so I love the way this verse is setting up for the rest of this chapter. It's a great verse, a great passage.
Yeah, I look at the shield and the guarding part about it is, to your point about common sense, is as you teach God's principle and word to your kids, they can kind of pick up their own spider sense, their own common sense that something's not right.
Right. And
I've had multiple times my kids have brought me their phone with a text message or a website or whatever, and show me, hey, this doesn't look right. And even to the point of showing me things that they found that I didn't realize were a bad deal, but because they kind of had the common sense and wisdom, like, oh, whoa, that's a really bad deal. Thanks for showing me that, or thanks for letting me know. And I really just feel like there's a lot to be said for God's wisdom as a way to just keep you out of trouble to begin with. There have been multiple instances I can think of with my kids where, because of what they had learned, whether it was, directly at my own teaching or it was something they got in Sunday school or youth group or a retreat or something, they came back away from whatever that experience was, and now they've avoided a disaster that their friends were on. I mean, I can't even count all the times I've heard stories from my kids about, well, the friends were going to go do X, and I kind of walked away from that because of common sense. And where did they get that, right? They got that from the Lord. So I think that's it's the whole thing of, well, if your friends are going to jump off a bridge, are you going to follow them, right? Kind of thing. But, you know what can jump that actually jumps pretty good is a squirrel. Did you know that squirrels jump pretty good?
I've seen squirrels jump. They do jump pretty good.
So what kind of squirrel can jump higher than a tent?
I'm afraid to ask. What?
All of them. A tent can't jump.
Oh my gosh. I don't know why I fell for that.
It was obvious, wasn't it?
It was. So keeping with my sick jokes, I got sick in an airport one time. Did you know that?
Oh.
Yeah, it was bad. It was a terminal illness.
I've had terminal illness, and it is a bad thing, folks. Avoid terminal illness.
It was very bad.
All right, I'm Alan.
I'm JJ.
And we'll catch y'all next time.